First of all, I just want to say thank you so much. Thank you for taking the time to do this interview, Logical. Much respect to you for doing what you're doing. Big ups to Crooked Eye, who actually inspired me for the idea to do this talk about NFTs. Also,
Salute.
yeah, big ups to Crooked Eye. Big
Yeah.
ups to my interns. My interns should be tuning in because, yeah, they should be tuning in soon. And also recording this. I plan on bouncing this video onto YouTube to save for
Let.
future reference. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And big ups to everyone that's tuned in. First of all, this is Jin. I'm a hip hop artist. I'm based here in LA, born and raised. Been in the West Coast the majority of my life. I actually released a few albums. I released an album called Spiritual Bars in 2018, which actually helped me go international. I was out in Dubai, out in South Africa, doing my thing out there, built a fan base out that way. I released the Gin album last year, and I got a new album called Birds of a Feather that's going to come out next month, April 26th. So make sure you check that out. Um, Before I was an artist, I actually started as a promoter. I was a street promoter. That's how I got into the industry. So I was literally in the streets passing out flyers back in the day before
Yeah.
social media. So from there, I started doing my own events.
Brief story about that was just I just got tired of the you know, the ups and downs and the roller coaster of trying to find an engineer. So I just learned it myself and went to school for it. Yeah, so I got a bachelor's degree and all that. But yeah, same as you. I've been releasing albums for a while now, a lot of mixtapes. Um, yeah, so I got some mixtapes that sound like albums, but you know, I still want to make my real album. But yeah, and then I've been releasing singles. I went on a Logi Day run last year. I called it Logi Day, which I would just drop a song every week because I would just have so much stuff in the vault. I'm like, I'm just dropping every week. Why not? So yeah, it's cool, man. It got me to work with people like Triple Sace, that was part of Big Pun's camp. Got me in the light with the likes of Crook. Shout out King Crook, you already know. Yeah, now I'm just venturing off, man, trying to dig deep into the Web3 and NFTs and kind of see where it could go. You know, it's really early as far as, you know, where we are with NFTs, and I think it's dope.
That's cool. That's really cool. So can you explain what NFTs are and how does it relate to the music industry?
Yeah. So NFT is an abbreviation, right? It stands for non-fungible token. Yeah. So basically, to explain NFT, you got to kind of explain what fungible is. So what fungible is like interchangeable value, right? Think of $2 bills. If we swap dollar bills right now, they both have the same value, you know. As opposed to non-fungible, right? So non-fungible, think of diamonds, right? No two diamonds are alike. So in their own respect, they're unique, right? They're one of ones. So that's what an NFT is. As opposed, yeah. So like, if you want to put it in crypto terms, like, if I give you a Bitcoin and you give me a Bitcoin, that's still a Bitcoin, right? As opposed to an NFT where if you make something that's a one of one, that's unique. That's strictly unique. So yeah, it makes them a one of one, and each NFT is minted on the blockchain. And yeah, you let me know when to stop so I don't get too nerdy.
No, it's cool. This is awesome. This is
Yeah.
cool. We need that
Yes.
info.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, and then a couple ways it could relate to the music industry, right? First and foremost, NFTs are damn near impossible to get bootlegged, right? Because they are verifiable on the blockchain. That I mean, if you're in this, I'm sure you've heard of like people screenshotting like these PFPs, like these cartoons, like the cartoons that are coming out now, and the little characters. People can screenshot all they want, but if it's not verified on the blockchain, then there's no point. It it's verifiable, and it's really great for like albums, right? It's really great for songs and album artwork, right? And so if you have like a really really dope artwork and you just even want to sell the artwork of your album as an NFT, you can, right? Right? Because it'll be a one of one. So there's a lot of ways. I'm just trying to like go off the head, but there's a lot of ways it relates to the music industry.
That's pretty cool. Shout outs to Brandon. I see you. Thanks for logging in. Yeah, I think that's really cool. I have so many questions,
Yeah.
but I want to try to keep it as close to the Q&A that I have. And then if anyone else has questions as well, please chime in. But talking about, let's say you're releasing an album, you can make that into you can make that into an NFT. But what I also wanted to ask is, let's say, for example, about copyright issues. I saw NFT with 6ix9ine, Tekashi 6ix9ine, right? So if someone were to make an NFT of Tekashi, I mean, doesn't that violate his, isn't that a violation of copyright? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so all of that. So as far as what I know, and this comes up a lot in the community. So from what I know, basically those bases still have to be covered, those T's and those I's, right? So you can't really do that. You can, but it'll backfire, right? It'll backfire badly, because just because of what's at stake, right? If you do make a nice amount of money from from using somebody's likeness, the transparency of the blockchain might come and bite you because it's there, right? It's verifiable that you did that. So now somebody like 6ix9ine can say, if you go to court and get a good lawyer and say, well, he never really intended to use that. Well, it's there. It's on the blockchain. You can tell exactly what he did and what he intended to sell right there. So it'll kind of come back, and it'll really come back and haunt you. You'll put your foot in your mouth. So yeah. So for people doing that, that's scary, because if you don't have 6ix9ine's permission, and if he doesn't sign off on those copyrights, or if he's not part of the smart contract where he's written in the contract to get a certain amount of royalties, but you just can't get away with anything, man. You still gotta do good business, because if not, it's really gonna come back.
Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know. Okay, so do you think NFTs will become more popular in the future? And if so, how?
Yeah, definitely. It's like I said earlier, it's the tip of the iceberg right now. As far as what people are doing, and especially for music NFTs are really early, right? It comes in like waves. Right now we're in the PFP profile picture wave, where everybody's doing some dope stuff with like Bored Apes are a big one if people want to look that up. I know Crypto Kitty, Bored Apes, the Bored Ape
Okay.
Yacht Club. Yep. Like I know Timbaland has one. I think Eminem bought one for $470,000.
What?
So yeah, and people make fun of it, like, oh, people are just selling JPEGs, but there's value to it when the community wants it. But yeah, so the cool thing about NFTs are you have something called the secondary royalties, right? So in the traditional industry, right, in the traditional sense, if I bought your CD, right, and it's rare. Say I got one of the first ones you put out, you autographed it and everything. If I sell that, you don't get anything back. GIN doesn't get anything. You just got the initial sale. But in Web3, you can assign secondary royalties, right? And then a percentage that you assign to the piece, that is chosen by you, and then that percentage is taken out of all secondary sales. So let's just call it 5%, right? Or a standard rate that I've been hearing thrown around is like 3%, but let's just use 5. So if I bought the GIN NFT album and I go ahead and, you know, we drive, you know, the value goes up. So I said, hey, let me just make a flip. I already have the hard copy, so let me make a flip on the NFT. You get 5% of that flip. Now, you know, that's dope because it's in perpetuity. So if I sell it to, you know, if I sell it to Crook, and then Crook goes ahead and sells it, you get 5% of each sale.
Wow, that's
Yeah, so
cool.
the secondary royalties are dope, and I feel like that's what's gonna really be the driving force when it comes into music NFTs, um, because you know that's just not heard of right now, right? You see it all. I mean, we've seen it since kids. People selling like a Michael Jackson glove, or you know what I mean, or like when DMX used to rest in peace, DMX would take off his shirt. People would try to sell that, and it's like no, the creators don't get any part of that. But with NFTs, you can write it in the contract that you get parts of those secondary sales. So it's dope.
That's really dope. I saw a question.
Yep.
This is from Jason. Are NFTs just a fad or will they continue their popularity?
Yeah. So good question. Well, I believe they're not a fad. But well, it's twofold, right? I think the popularity depends on once the fads kind of get, you know, once the fads kind of get, you know, weeded out. Um, because one thing to know about NFTs in the community, right, is I keep throwing that word community around. It's really community based, right? So everything's transparent, right? So what's going on sometimes is like a big artist will just tie their name to a quick project, right? Make it like a fad thing, come in and kind of just rake money and leave. So that doesn't bode well with the community at all. So on the surface, it looks like somebody did something really great, but in reality, it kind of hurts the community. So um, the popularity, hey, it might, and you know, it goes in waves, but I don't think they're a fad. I just think the use cases of NFTs are just going to be, you know, even non-musical terms or non-artistic, right? A passport can be an NFT. You know, your birth certificate, your license, those are all one of ones, right? Those are all dedicated to you. So those type of things that can be verified on the blockchain, you know. But yeah, I don't think they're going anywhere. I don't think they're a fad. We did I think we kind of got rid of some fads, you know. Um but yeah, I think the fad is dwindling. The fad of having like a huge artist just come in and drop some bull crap just to get a, you know, just to make some quick money. You know, I think that's kind of dwindling down now.
Okay. Um, so normal day-to-day people can buy NFTs. So how does it work? You mentioned Bored Ape. I saw there's OpenSea. Like,
Mm-hmm.
how does it work? Or let's say you got a project coming out and you want to make it into NFT. How do you make that project into an NFT and how do you put it onto the marketplace? How does it work?
Gotcha. Yeah, so um there are several blockchains, right? But you know, for this combo, let's just talk about the most popular one. It's called Ethereum, right? And another popular one is like Solana. But let's just talk about Ethereum. So how you would want to start is you would want to buy ETH from an exchange, right? And what ETH is a cryptocurrency that represents the Ethereum blockchain, right? Um, and all NFTs are built on some sort of blockchain, you know? So basically, where you would want to start is you want to install a digital wallet, like MetaMask, right? And MetaMask is dope because you can use it as a Chrome extension, like a plugin right on Chrome. And as soon as you make it, it's always there and it's easy. And MetaMask is like accepted on a lot of platforms, like you said, OpenSea. Um, so then from you have your MetaMask wallet, right? So from an exchange like Coinbase, shout out Coinbase because Nas was actually one of the first investors into Coinbase. So Nas knows what he's doing too. Um, but yeah, so from Coinbase, you can buy ETH, right? ETH. And you can send your ETH to MetaMask. So now you have money in your bank, right? If you want to think of it as sending, you know, cash from one cash app to another cash app. Um, so in MetaMask, instead of having like a username, almost like Cash App, you have what's called a wallet address, and it's a string of numbers that represents your unique wallet, right? So you have MetaMask, you have ETH, your money in there, and you have your wallet address. So from that point, now you can go on OpenSea, and now you can buy stuff, right? You mentioned OpenSea. Consider OpenSea like the eBay of the NFTs. It's like one of the largest marketplace for NFTs. Um, and yeah, so yeah, in the beginning it might be confusing, but after a while it'll get easy. And then to answer your other question, right? So that's buying, right? If you just want to get in and look at NFTs you like, those are the steps you would have to take. But like I said, it's confusing up front, but the more you do it, the more you get used to just, your wallet, and you get used to logging into MetaMask. But if you want to create a project, it's almost the same. But there are a few other steps. Like OpenSea makes it really transparent and kind of easy to kind of just upload the artwork, and you can dive deep in OpenSea as well, and change up the smart contract. But for the most part on OpenSea, I haven't posted anything or minted anything on OpenSea yet. But I've been looking at their UI, and it's pretty painless, right? But you do need a wallet. So that's the one thing that you do need, is you do need a wallet attached to OpenSea. But yeah, if you did want to put a project up, you just add a few steps. You do everything I just said, but then now you upload your artwork, you upload, if you're doing music with it, upload the music, and then you set your price, and then it's on the marketplace.
Okay, so how much of an investment do you need to get in there?
Yeah, so it depends. It honestly depends. ETH right now, I think one ETH is about $3,000 something right now. So, you could buy fractions of it though, right? You don't need to buy a whole one ETH. Yeah, so the investment is really up to you, right? But also what comes with creating projects and minting and stuff are gas fees. And that comes with the actual people who buy your artwork to mint it, so they can have it in their wallet. There are gas fees, and gas fees cover everybody that mines, right? The decentralized nature of it. So everybody who's actually verifying that all these transactions are legit, that's what gas fees are. But yeah, so the investment, it's hard to say. It's hard to put a finger on, right? Because it's kind of up to you. If you have the money to buy, 2-3 ETH, and by all means buy it, and then you could get your investment going. But Coinbase makes it really easy, right? If you just put in the number that you want to spend, like let's just say $500, right? That's not a little bit of money, right? But that's also not a fortune.
Wow.
So yeah, if you put $500 into Coinbase, they'll tell you exactly how much of that is in ETH, right? It'll be a fraction of an ETH, but still you'll have ETH, right? So then you'll have that $500 in ETH to put in your MetaMask and then spend.
Wow, that's deep. That's like super deep. Okay.
Yeah.
So how does this, we kind of addressed this a little bit earlier, but how does this help increase revenue to the music artists? So, why should artists or, explore this, avenue of NFTs to help increase the revenue?
Yeah. Well, exactly. Right there. Boom. Increase revenue. So with NFTs, you got the power. You have the power of really eliminating the middleman, right? And you really have the power of bringing value to the art, right? So like I had a talk with Crook about this, because he's like, if you think about it, songs like like DMX's first album, Slaughterhouse, some of Crook's songs, some of those songs help raise communities, right? Helped mold me, help mold you. Those songs shouldn't be getting sold, or those albums shouldn't be sold for $9.99. Right? Some of those should be treated as artworks, like works of art. I mean, all music is art, but you know what I mean? So it's like we've been undersold, like since the inception of music, since they figured out they can sell this. So it really brings power back to the artist because now you can sell directly to fans, right? And you receive all the payment, and then you got the secondary aspect. So the secondary sales royalties, it's dope because it actually incentivizes the fans to drive the value up, right? So it's almost like you're stepping into an investment, like you're investing in your favorite artist, right? So if you like LogiKil, now you're not just buying the album out of fandom. Now you can actually make a business decision. Like, damn, if I buy this album and I pump it up and I make it hot, like, if whatever, if I put my foot forward to put word of mouth and the value goes up, I can sell this to somebody else and make some money, right? And buy more LogiKil or buy more GIN. So it really incentivizes fans to kind of get involved more, right? Instead of only treating treating artists like we're just behind the curtain and you're only getting the music. Nah, you're actually getting more than the music, you know?
That's dope. Just a quick shout out to Ngane from South Africa. Thank you so much for
What up? What
tuning
up?
in. Thank you. So thank you everyone else who's also tuned in. Yeah, let's keep this going. So tell us about your experiences with using NFTs.
Word. Hey, let me do this real quick. Let me try to send it to my guy Zach because I was going to mention him right now.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So now I'm just gonna see if he could join. I know he's in London, so it's probably too late for him right now. But no, yeah, it was early out there. Yeah. So my experience with NFTs. So I actually did a couple collabs with my guy Cosmo Zach, who I just tried to invite. Dope producer from London. And this is the beauty of it, man. This is really the beauty. I remember I was at the gym in the parking lot, and I was ready to go in. He's like, "Yo, bro," we linked on Discord actually. And he's like, yo, I make some spaced out stuff. My name is Cosmo Zach. So I like space. Like all my beats sound like space, the universe and all that. I'm like, all right, I'm down. I like to, I like to push my pen, right? So we did a couple joints. The first one, yeah, we did 2 joints and we put it up on a different platform, but it is still on Ethereum blockchain. So, it all relates. Yeah, I did a collab. I did 2 collabs with him. I actually I did a collab with Spotty Wi-Fi. Look him up. He's dope. He's one of the one of the pioneers and like the forefront guys, the premier guys in music NFT world. So I did a collab with him and Bun B. Shout out Bun B, the legend.
Ooh, dope.
Yeah, that's dope. And and then other than that, I own one of Eminem's Genesis pieces. So Eminem did an NFT release back in last year, and I got one of those. I was lucky to get one of those. But yeah, the NFT world, it makes it super easy to collab because it just brings the fun back to it. Like when I was working with Zach, it felt like being a teenager again, just discovering words and trying to just get some weird topics to write about. So, and there's no pressure from like, oh, this needs to be a radio song, or this needs to be a club song, or it just just push your pen and go. The creativity is your guide. So, and the same with the Spotty and Bum B collab, like that. It's hard. It's way harder to make that happen, especially getting Bun B on the record. Super hard to make that happen in traditional music, right? But in the NFT world, it's so new and so fresh, and everybody's trying to be innovative that it happened. It came together, and it was dope.
So how much did you pay, if you don't mind me asking, how much did you pay for the Eminem NFT, and how much is it worth now?
Good question. I know he had it for less than 1 ETH. I can actually find out for you. Let me see. Let me see. I had to find my login. But yeah, I can tell you exactly all that too. Because like I said, everything is on the blockchain. I just gotta find my login.
And if anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. Shout out to Abdul. I see you. From Russelheimer, from the UAE, from the Middle East. Thanks for joining in.
What up? What up? Let me do it this way. Yeah, if it takes too long to log in, then I'll just spitball it. But
I should invite Crook. Let me see what's up. I'm trying to invite him. I know he's busy pushing the new project, but I told him about this and he knows. But I'm just gonna try to invite him anyway, see if he tries it, if he's available, see if he can join in.
Word, hell yeah, that's my guy.
Yeah, he cool.
All right, cool. So I was able to check it out. Yeah, so I paid 200 for it, and it's worth about 300 now.
Okay, that's cool. That's not
Yeah,
bad.
not
That's not
bad, you
bad.
know.
That's not bad.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for looking that up. So, any other experiences you want to tell us about, you know, you using your NFTs? I know you mentioned Eminem, you mentioned NFT you did with Bumby. Any other experiences you have that where you use NFTs that you want to share?
Not at the moment. At the moment now, it's just working on what I want to do as far as my drop, like my official drop, like. So that's what I'm working on as far as yeah, as far as just diving deep, trying to research a little more because like I said, there's always more to learn.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out one of my friends, one of my guys. He actually got the Nas drop, and so there's a thing called utility where, and this is where it helps artists as well. So there's certain perks that come along with owning an NFT, right? So I know the Nas drop came with VIP access to a concert. It came with like a one-on-one talk with Hit Boy. So some dope stuff, like dope perks that you can only get by owning the NFT. So that's not a personal use, but it's my guy, so he's real close to me. So I was there in spirit when he texted me. He's like, "Yo, I got the Nas drop," so it was dope.
How much was that though to get a piece of the Nas?
I don't know. Tell you the truth, he didn't tell me. I don't think he wanted to tell me.
It's like a rack
Yeah,
piece of.
it was up. It was up there. I want to say it was close. It was up close to one ETH. It was either one ETH or more than the ETH, but it was up
Whoa,
there.
that's a lot.
Okay.
That's
Yep.
cool. Okay, so what advice can you give to anyone who's looking into buying NFTs? What's some advice that you can give?
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So real. Now I don't want to say cliche, but just search for value and don't fall into the hype. Right. Don't kind of chase the hype. Like I said earlier, the PFPs, the profile pictures, like the Bored Apes and stuff. They did it right. Um, but there are a lot of people that are capitalizing off of that. The success. So it can be alluring, right? Because you might want to get in here to flip, 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 but you might end up gambling more than you are investing. So just find stuff that you like, right? That's the beauty of the NFTs, right? There's something for everybody, and if something speaks to you and you want to invest in it, and you like the artist and you like the project, then it doesn't even have to be music. It could just be straight up art. Yeah, just search for the value, and you know, a lot of things come, right? A lot of people are incentivizing with utility, like I said. So check out their roadmap. A roadmap is basically like an outline of where they're gonna go as far as their projections, what they want to achieve, and yeah, just check them out. Do your research. Make sure you're not just blindly purchasing stuff because you heard about it, right? Definitely do your Googles, and I like to call it hit the Twitter streets, right? Twitter is like the hub right now for NFTs. So Twitter has something called Spaces. So it's basically their version of Clubhouse, where there's no video, it's just all voice. And these rooms, or they're called Spaces. These spaces are popping. I'm in some spaces sometimes that have like 200 people, um, even down to like 20, 30 people. And the gems that you get, the community is just so dope. Um, the good thing is you don't have to show your face. So if you are nervous in front of people, just I recommend requesting to speak. Right, if you're in a bigger space, you might not get up on stage, but yeah, go in these smaller spaces and like 50 people, you'll definitely be able to get up, and you're not showing your face or anything. So just talk. Sometimes And then that's how I started. I just started asking questions. I'm like, hey man, pardon. I gave my little spiel. I'm an artist coming over from traditional. I just want to learn more. You'll be surprised how much info you get. And that's the beauty. The community is so willing to teach, and they're so open. It's really open arms. So yeah, so anybody looking to buy, just definitely do your research. And with under the umbrella of research is hit these Twitter spaces. More than likely Twitter spaces will lead you to Discord, right? Discord is like the Facebook for NFTs, right? It's set up a little different, but it's all community based. So if you get in a Discord server, they're called servers. That's another spot to be able to get some info, right, and connect with other people that are in the same, knowledge level, same experience level. So yeah, just do your research and dive in. You know what I mean? Have fun with it.
That's cool. What are the pros and cons of owning an NFT?
Yeah. So I like to start with the veggies first, right? So let's start with the cons. Uh, Really, one of the main cons is the security, right? And the only reason why I say that is because everything is digital. So when you create a wallet, like I mentioned earlier, right, there's a password to log in, but there's also something called a seed phrase. So this seed phrase is a phrase of random words, right? It's usually about 12 words, and only you know that. So the rule, right? The rule of thumb is keep that somewhere safe, locked in, even keep it in a safe if you can. But if you lose that, right, that's basically your private key to your wallet. If you lose that, the scary thing is you're not getting that back. You know what I mean? Um, so that could be one con, right? If you just happen to misplace your password or your seed phrase, it is like damn near impossible to get it back. But the pros to that is similar to the cons, right? Everything's digital. So, there's endless creation outside of selling, just to sell. Um, it is secure, right? So hackers are good, right? Let's just be real. Hackers are real good. They're out there, but it's hard, right? The blockchain and crypto is a lot tougher than just a regular, email. But yeah, more on the pros. Like I mentioned earlier about utility, right? With NFTs, you'll actually you can get fan club stuff, right? Or you can get certain perks for holders of the NFT. And then yeah, you got community. So like I mentioned on Discord, right? You can build the whole community. Like shout out Crook, he's doing a real dope job of building Crook's Corner. And yeah, certain aspects of it are only available to people who own his coin, right? And that's dope. So you can do that. You can do gated access communities where people can only join if they have the NFT. And then yeah, and then last but not least, it's just easier to collaborate, right? A lot easier. Because people are just way more open to things. And the transparency of it all just kind of leaves creativity right there, right? It just kind of makes things simple.
Dope, dope. I just have two questions left.
Yep.
Do you think this is a new normal within the music industry?
Yeah, I think eventually. I really do. Yeah, for all the reasons I said before, right? Everything. So yeah, when I said earlier how everything is verifiable, um, so all the info that ever happens on the blockchain is tracked on a public ledger, right? Um, yeah, think of like a checkbook balancer or like, throwback days of old banks where they would open that huge book with the ledger of everything that went down, right? So everything is tracked on a ledger. So all your activity is transparent, and it's fully public, and you can actually find out what happens on this ledger, right? On something like it's called the Block Explorer, such as Etherscan. So in having that, right, everything is transparent. So this will help. This can definitely help with something like streaming royalties. It could definitely help with general secondary sales royalties, payments. There's no need for a middleman. And then, especially music artists, you have a higher potential to make a greater share of your profit, right? Versus using something like the middleman, like a label, right? Right. Labels get a bad rap, and but you know, some people need them, some people don't. But NFTs make it so you might not need them, right? If you put the legwork in and build your community with everything that I just said, everything's there. You know what I mean? And I think that's why, you know, it does scare some labels because let's be honest, some people don't do the best business in these contracts, right? So, you know, everything's there though on the blockchain. So it's really hard to kind of fudge numbers and lie. Everything is there. So I think it's gonna be the new norm. I think a lot of artists are opening their eyes to it. And like my guy earlier that asked that good question about it being a fad. I think the ones that are really paying attention to this see that it's not a fad, see that it's becoming a new norm. Yeah. And it's gonna come. It's gonna come. And like I said, we're really early. We're really, really early in the even in NFTs in general. But yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, I do think it'll be the new norm soon.
That's cool. And how much roughly, I guess, on average is an NFT on average?
That's dope. So basically an NFT can be any price, right? It's whatever the creator decides to sell it at. So you can start from like $20 all the way up to shout out Beeple. Look up Beeple if you guys haven't. He set a milestone as far as being able to he made an artwork every day, right? And
Whoa.
he's a 3D artist. He's dope. He's funny as hell too. His arts are like his pieces are like real satirical and like just funny, but it's dope too. So he ended up selling his collection for $60 million at the Christie's art collection.
What?
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, so it can range. It can range from wherever the creator wants to sell. Like I know, you know, a base to kind of start if you're just getting started is like point zero. It's either 0.001 ETH, right? Nothing too crazy. I think that equates to about I can't even got my calculator there, but I know it equates to about like $300 something or so. And that's kind of where I see a lot of people starting. But yeah, like I said, it can be anything, right? If a creator puts it at $10,000, then that's the price, you know?
That's insane. It's a
Yeah,
whole new world.
it definitely is.
So, any last remarks? Anything else you want to close with?
Nah, this is dope. This is fun, man. I'm glad that we're opening the conversation on IG to NFTs. And you know, I just say just keep an eye out, right? And just really, if for any fans out there that fans of music, just start thinking of the music you like as art pieces, right? And I think we have a responsibility as artists to kind of make it accessible for the fan, right? Because if we can't sell every album at $500, right? It's tough. But I think there's gonna be a happy balance, and I just think be on the lookout because there's some dope stuff coming for fans too, right? Like I mentioned earlier with utility and all that. Like you'll get a lot of perks and a lot of incentive, and you'll actually feel part of a community. So just be on the lookout. I'm definitely working on my NFT project. So just be on the lookout for that. And if you guys need help, hit me up. You can hit me on IG. We could join Discord together. We'll chat it up and we'll do this.
Oh, that's dope. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
I do
definitely.
have a question. This is from Jason. Should we all get into NFT?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna say yeah. And by getting into NFTs, that spans, right? If you want to start buying, go ahead. Like I said earlier, do your research. But yeah, just start dabbling, man. Put your toe in the water, right? Go on Twitter. I had to blow the dust off of my Twitter when I started getting into NFTs. Yeah, because I was focused on IG, I was focused on Facebook, YouTube. So Twitter became like the NFT hub. So yeah, you know, find your login for Twitter. Go ahead and jump on there and get your toe wet. It's gonna sound like Greek, you know, off rip, but it'll really start clicking fast. Things move fast. So I would definitely, Jason. And if you ever look me up and you like what I do, I'm gonna be going into the NFT world too. So be on the lookout.
That's dope. That's really dope. Yo, thank you so much for your time, Logical. I
Yeah,
really
no problem.
appreciate it. Hope to see you out here on the West Coast, or maybe I'll see you out there on the East Coast. Hopefully, we can connect sometime in person, besides in virtually. Shout out
Definitely.
to everyone who's tuned in. I do plan on saving this video and bouncing it, so I'll make sure I share that. And yeah, thank you so much, and you have a good evening. Have a nice night.
Yo, thank you for having me. And definitely, you already know if I'm out west, I'm gonna hit you. And if you're out east, hit me up.
For sure, for sure. You have a good
Appreciate it.
night.
You
Bye,
too.
everyone. Thank you so much.